Hi, I'm Tamra with Virginia Tourism, and this is for the love of travel. And in Virginia, we have a lot of love for wine. But not just wine, all the things that you can do at Virginia wineries. From kayaking, to checking out where rock stars hang out, to seeing historic ruins, and also seeing some cool wine dogs. So if you love wine, if you love adventure, you're gonna wanna grab your glass and come with me. Let's start with the facts. There are 220 wineries in Virginia, nearly 24 wine trails, and wineries in every part of this state. Today, we're going to show you wineries in just 2 parts of Virginia. We're going to start east, and then we're going to head west towards the Charlottesville area. We are at Chatham Vineyards, which is one of the only wineries in the country you can actually kayak to. And I'm here on the Eastern Shore at Chatham with John and Mills Winter. Why are people coming from all over to not only kayak here, but take in just kind of the scenery and the events? What do people love so much?
Well, I think what people love so much is the experience. When you come here, you get the history, you get the old house, you see these vineyards here. We produce 75 tons of wine grapes. We're right on Church Creek in the Chesapeake Bay.
I can imagine people's faces when they kayak up and all of a sudden it opens up to the federal mansion, and then you come up to the tasting room.
Absolutely, it's a very special experience, and in fact they're experiencing the farm as it was meant when it was built in the early 19th century. Waterways were the main thoroughfares, so by kayak you can come as folks did for nearly 4 centuries.
Our next stop is Dog and Oyster Winery in Irvington. So something that I love even more than wine is dogs, and you will find wine dogs all throughout Virginia. And this guy here is special. He's actually a rescue dog who lives here at the Dog and Oyster Winery. Dudley Patterson and his son, Mark. You're the winemaker here. You're the owner of Dog and Oyster Winery, but also of the Hope and Glory Inn, which is right up the street. How did you come up with this idea for dogs, oysters, wine?
Well, Mark has been the vineyard manager here for a few years before, and the dogs were brought in by Mark, and they rescue our grapes every day from the deer and other grape-eating varmints. The oysters, it's the treasure of the Chesapeake, and what could go better with wine than a good oyster? And so we, from the very beginning, wanted to pair our wines with oysters, which we do here at the vineyard.
So we are at Blenheim Vineyards, which is a winery outside of Charlottesville. There's many, many wineries in this region, but this is the only one that I know of that's owned by a rock star, and that rock star is Dave Matthews. And this is Kirsty Harmon. She's a rock star in my book. She's the winemaker here. You will see her driving a forklift, picking grapes, pouring wine. Is there ever like a buzz starts like on Twitter that Dave Matthews is in Charlottesville?
It's happened before when he's actually been at the winery, because he does visit from time to time. And as soon as he walks in the door, you see people get out their phones. And so we do have, he stays for an hour, 2 hours sometimes, and so he's very generous and gracious.
He actually had a big hand in designing this place.
He did. I think he drew it out on a napkin. It's actually right behind the cash register. We have the people that are coming here to learn something about Dave Matthews. We have the people coming here to learn about wine, and the fact that they learn about the other while they're here is pretty cool.
We are now at Veritas Winery with Emily Pelton, who's the winemaker here. And Veritas stands for truth, and the truth is this is an incredibly beautiful place. You can come to Veritas, bring your own picnic lunch, go inside, taste wine, and then just do what we're doing right now. Come out here and take in the wine and the views.
Yeah, this is what we would want to do. So we've built the winery and the tasting room as well, and you'll see when you're inside, we do sit-down tastings. We want people to sit down, we want them to enjoy, we want them to be here, we want them to look around, we want them to be a part of what we're growing here. When they come out here and they sit on the lawn and they see the vines and they see the production facility in the back, I think there's so much more understanding of that we're growing this wine.
Right.
And and we want people to sit and enjoy it and just hang out and be part of being outside in nature and beautiful Virginia.
Our last stop today is Barboursville Vineyards. It's one of the most famous and the most historic in Virginia. This is Luca Pasquina, who is the winemaker here.
Benvenuti a Barboursville Vineyards.
So I don't speak Italian, but I think you just said.
Just welcome. Indeed, it's a very important site. It's the former mansion of a governor of Virginia. And it's been standing as a ruin since then.
So this has been here since 1884. It was built in 1814.
Finished in 1814.
So
yes.
nearly 200 years old.
Yeah, correct.
And now here it is overlooking one of the most beautiful vineyards in Virginia.
Yeah.
It's a lucky old building. Barboursville is also, in addition to one of Virginia's award-winning wineries, it's one of the few wineries where you can actually spend the night.
Right.
And you've taken what was the family home,
Yes.
built in 1804,
Yes.
and turned it into the inn at 1804.
About 8 years ago, we decided to open it to the public. Still, all the decoration and all the family objects are those of the family from Italy. You can sleep, a few feet away from an historic landmark, drinking wine produced on this farm, and come outside, take a blanket, put it right here, and have a toast and have a great time.
So I stayed so long at Barboursville that they decided to put me to work. I'm going to pour these folks some wine. In the meantime, if you want to learn more about wine travel, go to virginia.org. Thanks so much. Am I doing this right?
I think you got it.
How much do I get?